and thank you for joining us from your home to celebrate our 25th anniversary and to support Timeline Theater Company. My name is Tiffany Fulson, and as the MC for this event, I'm so thrilled to welcome you to the virtual edition of Step Into Time Chicago 1997. Even though you can't be with us in person, we're happy to share with you some video highlights to celebrate our silver anniversary. You're going to get a look at how the company was started, where we are today, and a glimpse into the new home we're building in Uptown. Plus, you can also bid on the amazing prize packages in our silent auction and enter to win a vacation in Hawaii with our Maui raffle. This is our most important fundraiser of the year. And honestly, the way the past couple of years have gone, I think it's fair to say that this is our most important fundraiser in the past few years. And even from home, you can make a huge impact. In honor of Timeline's 25th anniversary, a generous donor is matching all gifts, dollar to dollar, up to $25,000 from folks who are not able to attend the gala in person. So that's all of y'all. Please help us meet this $25,000 challenge by going online now to stepintotime22.givesmart.com to make a donation in any amount. This company has been so important to me and my professional journey. I started Timeline when I was a college student, interning with the Living History Education program that works with high school students in Chicago public schools. Mind you, I was supposed to do this for just 1 week, but pretty soon I officially joined the team of teaching artists and then became the education assistant, partnering with Director of Living History and my mentor, Juliet Hart. She empowered me to launch our first teen summer arts program, Timeline South, that we've now done for 4 years. And then last year, a new full-time position was created, making me Timeline's first artistic producer of innovative partnerships, expanding my work with education, community engagement, and our artistic team. Most recently, I worked alongside Ron J. Parson as assistant director on the world premiere hit production Relentless by Tyler Abercrombie. If you didn't get a chance to see it sold out run, we just announced that Relentless is coming back in just a few weeks, playing downtown at the Goodman Theater, so don't miss it. Whether it's the experience of Relentless or working with CPS classrooms, I've seen what has made Timeline's mission so critically important. For the past 25 years, Timeline has been connecting our past with our present, shining a light on what we share collectively, while uplifting our distinctive experiences, recognizing that we have bridges yet to build, and offering a communal space to explore how we will, together, make a better tomorrow. What you may not know is how Timeline got started. To kick off our night, we have a fun surprise. For those of you who are familiar with Comedy Central's Drunk History, no explanation is necessary. For the rest of you, the premise of this cult classic show is the retelling of a moment in history by an inebriated narrator. For our version of Drunk History, I want to introduce Timeline company member and playwright of Relentless, Tyler Abercrombie, who took on the task of getting very drunk and then doing her best to tell the origin story of Timeline. Pour yourself a beverage and enjoy.
What's up? This is Tyler. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about the theater company I belong to, Timeline Theater. Let me take a sip. Wait, hold on. Timeline Theater came to be 25 years ago. How? Because of a little controlling motherfucker named Nick Bowling. Now he gonna be mad that I call him little, but he is little. He not that tall. Juliet Hart, the femme fatale, and PJ Powers. Y'all know if y'all have seen PJ, his hair be waved up right. They all went to DePaul. At least Nick went to DePaul. And Juliet went to DePaul. And I think PJ went to DePaul because... I'm so sorry. I do not normally drink this much So, Nick is in school. Anybody know Nick? He's a little bit of control, a little bit. And he decided, I'm not gonna work for other people. I like what other people doing. I'll start my own shit. I'm about to be important in my own theater, and I'm not gonna be told what to do. What? Motherfucker, what? Anyway. So he hung out with his friend Lily. Lily. I think it's Lily because either her name is Liz or Lily. Start with an L. I got that part right. Nick went out to dinner. One of those things. And Lily was not like down for this whole theater shit, and then Lily was like, okay, well, cool. What's it gonna be about? And Nick was like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna do the best plays ever. And so Lily was like, no, you need a mission. And Nick was like, hold up. I think I need a belch. I don't generally belch, but ooh, so annoying. Like my mother would be so disappointed. Lily was like, what do you like doing? And he said, what do you like talking about? And he was like, I like talking about antiques and shit. She said, that's what your theater company should be about. It should be about antiques or something like that. History, probably not antiques, but history. But if you do a history play, you're gonna use a lot of antiques. You know what I'm saying? And Nick was like, perfect. So he called Juliet, and Juliet was like, I don't know. I'm like an ingenue, and I'm about to be starring in all kind of shit. And then he went to PJ, who's like, I am so on the move. I'm so in the growth. I'm so on the way to stardom. There's no way I could be at your theater company. And I'm sure Nick was like, really? Really? And finally, those motherfuckers said, all right. And we have 3 other people who was part of this company, but I can't remember them. I've been drinking. They was important though. Sister girl, Lily, was like, you can have your meeting in my basement. What was great is that in this meeting, in the basement, there's brilliance that happened in the basement. Nick was like, you are so significant that I need you to be a part of the entirety of a timeline. PJ and Juliet was like, I know we got involved because Nick had a vision, but I'm involved because I see now that this is bigger than me. I have become the important person that I know I am designed to be. They asked everybody to put $50 in a hat. And so PJ mama was like, $50? What? You ain't gonna go nowhere with $50? I get it, Mom. I get it. I totally get it. But that's how we have to live. We have to be like, I got $50 from my mama. I will put it on the theater company. His mom was like, oh my God, you ain't gonna never get that $50 back. But it got them started as a company. The Timeline. And that's how Timeline Theater began. 3 motherfuckers in a basement, an ingenue, an overachiever, and a motherfucking control freak decided, let's have a theater company. And then they found me.
All right. Well, that was an extremely entertaining look back at Timeline's history, and one that we'll never forget even if we try. In a little bit, we'll share a look back at some of the unforgettable moments from our past 25 years and some inspiring words from artistic director PJ Powers, plus a sneak peek at where we're headed with our new home in Uptown. But now, I'm happy to share with you a program that's near and dear to my heart. It's grown from being one incredible program in a single Chicago public high school into a full Timeline department that makes an impact across the city, including many education and community engagement initiatives that extend well beyond the classroom. I'm talking about Timeline's Living History. For the last 16 years, Living History has brought Timeline's mission into Chicago public schools and continues to grow with the establishment of Timeline South and 2 new programs, Timeline Uptown, our first after-school program in our new neighborhood, and Timeline Next Generation, a program for young adults led by this next artist. I'm so excited to share this view into the program, accompanied by the powerful words of multi-talented Living History alum, Rachel Romero.
I'm living history. A mantra embedded in my mind and so powerful it sends shivers down my spine. And when I sit and I think what that can mean to me, all the thoughts and the possibilities flow so natural and my mind races endlessly. So let me tell you, I live in history. It means so much to me. I'm living history. The way those words trickle off the top of my head and spew down and out my mouth like a wave from the ocean and a breath of fresh air. Now see, when living history, it becomes our story and we are masters in the way that we tell it. We take back control of those voices once lost, blooming like a lily to win battles once fought. In living history, I plan to write my own story, one that is unapologetically me. Because this is the first time I can actually say that I'm free. I've been stuck on the sidelines, but now I'm playing the game. When I live in history, my voice is impossible to strain. So I'm gonna be loud on purpose. I'm gonna make a lot of sound on purpose. My voice will be found on purpose. And I'm gonna help me and mine rebuild a system that once hurt us. With every breath that I take, umami moxie words that I make, I'm gonna follow this story the same way the sunflowers follow the sun. With living history, our story has the capability of being anything we want it to be. Uncapped creativity, frosted with a sprinkle of capability, history, our story, it's all in the making. It's like they say, I've always had the voice, I just needed the platform. Living history gave me the ability to finally transform. I've met the me that I've always dreamed of, and man, look at me shine. I live in history. So seeing me shine will be seen as a victory. So I'm gonna say this one more time so that I know that you hear me. I'm living history.
Good evening. I'm PJ Powers, and it's my great honor to be Timeline's artistic director. As we celebrate our 25th anniversary, I'm admittedly reflecting on all that led up to this moment, including the past couple years. For just a sec, think about where you were 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and appreciate where we are right now. Appreciate how your support pushed us through some uncertain days and led us to our recent return to the stage. A return that was no meek easing back in with something small and safe or something that was a rehash of what's been seen before. No, Relentless is a new script that was homegrown within our company over a 5-year commitment. It's a landmark new play that will be discussed for years to come and which embodies what Timeline's mission is all about. So to toast these milestones for our gala, we decided to step back in time to a year that on the surface you might think, really, in 1997? I'm not sure what happened in 1997. But you may not realize that 97 was a year for dreamers and visionaries, for planners and builders. Out in California, 2 friends embraced an emerging technology and crafted a wild plan for digital versatile discs to be delivered by the post office to your mailbox, ordered online. They called it Netflix. That same year, after a 12-year hiatus, Steve Jobs returned to the financially troubled Apple and began plotting inventions that would soon put the world literally at our fingertips. A funny-sounding word got registered as a new domain, and it went on to become both a noun and a verb that we use daily. It was called Google.com. A 36-year-old went from the south side of Chicago downstate to Springfield to become a state senator. A little over a decade later, he became President Obama. And up on the north side of Chicago, another then unknown guy with both audacity and hope hatched an idea that would lead us to this very moment. Nick Bowling convinced me and 4 others to get behind his vision to create what would become Timeline Theater Company. All of that in 1997. A group of dreamers setting out that year to build something and, perhaps make history. The drunk history video earlier tonight, in all of its spot-on accuracy, it didn't include one key scene, the one that really got me to sign on to this crazy dream. And it's the thing that still has me here today. Way back in 97, I was with Nick at Moody's Pub on North Broadway, and he laid out an unexpected and surprisingly inspiring what if. What if we build something bigger than ourselves, he said. Something that will have longevity and live on long after us. Working in the theater, we're taught to find work as solo artists, build a career bouncing from gig to gig, and hope to build a name and perhaps some stability for ourselves. But what if we do something different, he said. What if we start a company with an actual mission, and it is the thing we put all of our energy behind, the thing that ultimately becomes a legacy? Now, I will say that at age 23, hearing things like legacy and let's build an institution, those were not exactly front of mind. But there was just the right amount of crazy in Nick's pitch. And I said, okay, what do we do next? In hindsight, whether I knew it in 1997 or not, what we did next was start to build the platform upon which more than 80 plays and counting now have been produced. The foundation that could support an education program like what you just heard about from Tiffany and Rachel. We laid the groundwork that made so many of you take notice and that got you to show up and shore up support, telling your friends to join you at a very old church building on Wellington Avenue to see some great theater in an unlikely venue. Nick's premise was coming true. We were building something bigger than ourselves. Timeline isn't about the 6 of us who got it going. It's yours now as much as it is mine. It belongs to Chicago. It's ingrained in Chicago, and it needs widespread support to continue to live up to being bigger than ourselves. Which brings me back to these past couple of years when we all discovered new types of isolation and Zoom fatigue, when communal connection felt like a forgotten luxury, when we lost touch with the sensation of all being in something together. On a particularly tough day, early-ish in the pandemic, those feelings of cabin fever led me to my bookcase and to these words by playwright Richard Nelson. He wrote, "In times like our own, when human voices seem more disembodied than ever, where words seem pulled from their meanings and turned into rants and weapons, the theater can be a necessary home for human talk, a place where human beings talk about their worries, confusions, fears, and loves, and where they also listen. These plays are about the need to talk, the need to listen, the need to be in the same room together, the need for theater, and the need to know in small and even bigger ways that we are not alone." Those words from Richard, they resonate with me differently today than when I first read them many years ago. Maybe because I learned how much I had previously taken for granted. Something as simple as being in the same room together. It's the core of what live theater is. And it's at the heart of why we started Timeline, to create that special place where people come together to make connections between times gone by and the times that we are in. Connections between one another. That's why Timeline began. And here we are, 25 years later. A tad older, a smidge wiser, and with you, a whole lot stronger. Collectively building something so much bigger than ourselves. And we're now on the precipice of our next chapter, establishing a gathering spot in Uptown where all of Chicago can feel at home, a space where great art will endure for decades to come. We got here thanks to you, and we are going to get there thanks to you. But we've got unfinished business, and we need your support. You saw earlier how amazing our new facility will be in a couple of years when it's open. But we won't get from today to that moment by putting our mission on hold. Before that building comes, we're very much in business right now, and it's a not-for-profit business, creating art. This year, we'll produce 4 plays, lifting up new and vital voices. We're paying salaries, teaching students, allowing young leaders to have opportunities they maybe haven't had before. We are stretching in every way imaginable. And my appeal to you is that you also stretch. I know that at home, you may feel that it's easy to stay on the sidelines or that your support may not matter, but I promise you, every voice is heard, every voice matters, and every contribution is felt and seen and is infused into what Timeline is. The past couple of years have affected us all in different ways, but if you are able to give, I hope you will stretch with us. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and until we're together again, here is a look with gratitude into where we are today, and a look with optimism for what tomorrow can bring.
I think theater is supposed to push us and supposed to make us think.
I think understanding that everybody has something to say, it's definitely worth listening to.
Because here, in the world of interpretation, not only am I standing for you, I'm engaging with you.
The idea that these tiny little personal connections could lead to bigger connections.
Our mission isn't just about looking back. It is about looking back, but it's also about looking at the here and now. It's about looking forward.
If we have come this far, how much further can we yet go?
Thank you for engaging with us tonight and for helping Timeline to continue to make history. We've loved having you be a part of our celebration of Timeline's 25th anniversary. And I want to remind you that it is not too late to make an impact. Our silent auction and raffle are still available for shopping, bidding, and buying for a little while longer tonight at stepintotime22.givesmart.com. And remember, a generous donor is matching dollar for dollar all donations from you at home up to $25,000 to honor our anniversary. So please go online now and make a donation. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon.